lights change to green, and the pack stream away down to Redgate corner, the first corner, and who is going to be first in there? Randy Mamola it is, with Barry Sheene, Lucanelli, Graham Crosby, but that's the early leader, and Barry Sheene nips in on that little short straight before they disappear around Hollywood and Craner Curves, and these are the cream of motorcyclists in the world. Through Craner Curves, Hollywood, down to the old hairpin, and it's Britain's Barry Sheene ahead of Randy Mamola from America. Graham Crosby from New Zealand is third. Under Starkey's Bridge on lap 1, a 25-lap race. Sheene, Mamola, Crosby, Lucanelli as close as that as they brake now and change down to second gear, 70 miles an hour for McLean's. Sheene, Mamola, Crosby, Lucanelli, Chris Guy, Cork Bellington, Steve Parrish. They're the leading group as they come up to Coppers for the first time. Barry Sheene passed away, just took the early leader, Randy Mamola, before the sweep down to Hollywood and Craner Curves. And look at that for close racing. The best riders in the world competing for this new World Series trophy. Into the chicane at about 45 miles an hour. End of lap 1, it's Barry Sheene, the leader, from Randy Mamola from California. That's Marco Lucanelli. Graham Crosby is still in third place. Lucanelli closing on him. Sheene leads from Mamola into Redgate for the second time. Sheene and Mamola trying on the inside, but Barry holds that line. Around Craner Curves and Hollywood, and just watch the style of these superb riders.
Well, Peter, I think Barry, to be in this position here is he's obviously very confident. This is a 25-lap race ahead of the greatest riders in the world. So he's got to really work hard to stay in this position.
He's really come on form recently. He won the final round of the World Championship. That was the Swedish Grand Prix. That was his 6th successive win there, by the way. And of course, he's finished the World of Sport Superbike Challenge, and he's really on song. And that can only be good for British motorcycle racing. These two, Sheene and Mamola. Sheene, who had won the championship twice. Mamola, who's finished runner-up twice. And Mamola goes through like a rocket as they come down the chicane. Mamola, the young 21-year-old. And that lad started motorcycle racing when he was 14 years of age, road racing that is, and he said he was rather old when he started. He won over 500 trophies for motorcycle racing in America between the age of 14 and 16. That gives the standard of riding of him. Mamola leading from Sheene. Lucanelli now up into third place ahead of Crosby, number 4, who was fourth. The 5th place man is number 5, Cork Bellington, and young Chris Guy, number 13, holds on to 6th place. But this is the scrap for the lead. They're on lap number 3, and the opening laps have been recorded at 1 minute 15.75. That's getting very, very close to the lap record. Mamola and Sheene. Down to McLean's.
And that involves number 6, Bud Van Dolman, and number 9, Mark.
The lap speeds are increasing because the leader now, Randy Mamola, lapped in 1 minute 15.2. That's under a second outside his lap record, but Marco Lucanelli appears to be closing on the two leaders. Randy Mamola, number 3, leads from Barry Sheene, number 7, and Lucanelli definitely closing. We've got a straight battle now, 1, 2, 3 of them, and this is really what the crowds have come here, and what a celebration for Donington. 50 years of motorcycle racing, and some of the best right here and now. Mamola from America, Barry Sheene from Britain, and Marco Lucanelli from Italy. First, second, and third, and Lucanelli definitely closing right up with them now as they go round Hollywood and Craner Curves. 6 laps completed. They're on lap number 7.
Peter, a great performance by the new world champion, Lucanelli, because he hasn't raced here many times before. In fact, only once, I think, so it's taken him a few laps to learn the circuit.
And here's the news. The leader, Randy Mamola, 1 minute 14.3 seconds. That equals the lap record, so the pace is really hotting up.
Well, obviously, Lucanelli's going with him. It's surprising you see that they're dropping Roberts off, which is surprising because he is on a very...
For his sake, yes, that's for sure. We're on lap number 11, and this is Mamola and Lucanelli. Momola, the man who was tipped, and he's going round the outside of him. Lucanelli, well, I never. And he didn't, but my word, he had a go. Number 3, Momola, and Lucanelli trying at the outside of McLean's, so it's obvious that he's going round the outside at Compass now. Well, they are trying 100%. There's no two ways about that. Momola, Lucanelli now tries on the inside as they come down to Park Chicane. It's the braking. Can he do it? He does. The new world champion leads. Marco Lucanelli takes the lead as they come in to complete lap number 11. And it's Marco Lucanelli from Randy Momola, and Barry Sheen really tucked down, trying everything he knows. Momola's having a go on the outside at Redgate now. Can he do it? No. Lucanelli holds it from Momola and Sheen. 3 of the top riders are really putting on a show for the crowds here at Donington today, and I can't think of a better way to celebrate 50 years of motorcycle racing than watching this.
Yes, Peter, this is real 10-10 riding and a real standard, typical of the Grand Prix season we've had this year.
Sheeny nips inside Momola. Tremendous stuff. And Momola having a go back at Sheen. Lucanelli out in front. Barry Sheen now, just look, as Phil said, tucked absolutely right down behind that fairing. Really trying. Marco Lucanelli from Italy leads Britain's Barry Sheen, with number 3 Randy Momola still in close company as they come up now to Coppice Corner, changing down through the gearbox, third gear, around about 70 miles an hour. Machines over at an incredible angle. 10-tenths riding. I think if it was possible, they're on 11-tenths, these 3, and Graham Crosby, number 4, is coming up to join in the fun. Down to the chicane. Who's it going to be this time? Lucanelli appears to have the line. He does, from Sheen and Momola, and Crosby definitely closing. And consistent riding, because the last 3 laps have been within 0.03 of a second. And they're coming up almost side by side to Redgate. It's Lucanelli from Momola and Sheen now. Marco Lucanelli, the Italian world champion, leads Randy Momola, the man who was tipped to win the world championship this year and finished runner-up as he did the previous year, and Barry Sheen, the man who won the 500cc world championship in 76 and 77. So you can see why the cream of motorcycle racing from the world are here at Donington. Graham Crosby definitely closing, but Lucanelli still holds on to his lead. The first 4, lap 14 we're on, they're at Coppice. Number 19, Gary Lingham, one of the British runners, is in the pits at the moment. But these are the 4 men battling for the lead, and they've got the whole length of Starkey Straight before the 5th place man can come into view. Randy Momola looks over his shoulder. He sees Barry Sheen. Marco Lucanelli in the lead. He takes an unusually wide line there.
Peter, I think it's the quickest line because he doesn't seem to lose anything. In actual fact, gains a few yards. So being a new to the circuit, he's found a better line.
They're the first 4. The 5th place man is number 1, that's Kenny Roberts, and in 6th place is number 5, and that is Cork Bellington on the Kawasaki. Crosby, in fact, now he's got up into that 4th place, is lapping 1 minute 15.5, which is slower, and he is 10.6 seconds ahead of Kenny Roberts and Cork Bellington. So between 4th and 5th, the time gap is 10.6 seconds. We're on lap number 50, and Lucanelli still leads.
Peter, you notice the leading 3, they've got a riding technique of dragging their knees on the ground. I don't quite see the advantage of that, but it's not slowing them down. But with Crosby in 4th place here, he's got a far neater style.
So it's still Lucanelli, Crosby again, closing on Barry Sheen. Graham Crosby from Auckland, New Zealand, first raced at the age of 18, and his first success was a championship grass hill climb, would you believe? That was Graham Crosby's first success, but now, of course, it's road racing for him, and a member of the Works Suzuki Great Britain team. in line astern. Lucanelli, Crosby, Mamola in second place. Crosby is fourth and Barry Sheen is third. That's Marco Lucanelli, the lucky star on his helmet. That's his emblem. Randy Mamola doesn't have one done, and Barry Sheen has his doubled up on the helmet. And Crosby's past Sheen and Coppice just on the inside. So Graham Crosby and Barry Sheen suddenly down to fourth place when he was challenging for the lead just a lap and a half ago. They're coming in now to complete lap number 22, and it's still Lucanelli from Mamola. Now it's Crosby. Superb ride by Graham Crosby, who is so far behind, come up to join them, and now got into third place, and there are just 3 laps to go.
You see Barry making a desperate effort to get past Crosby here. He just can't stand being behind him.
That's true, and Kenny Roberts, we're told, is slowing, and the leader is lapping in 1:15.9 for lap 22, an identical time exactly to 100th of a second as it was on lap 21. We're now on lap number 23. Franco Uncini still in 5th place. That's number 12, and Kenny Roberts is in 6th place, but slowing. Marco Lucanelli isn't. He looks over his shoulder as he really leans off that machine and almost drags it under Starkey's Bridge down to McLean's. Randy Mamola still there in 2nd place.
Peter, they're saving something for the last 2 laps, or the last lap for sure. Lapping just a second under the lap record. You see, it's going to be really exciting.
And then Mamola, Crosby and Sheen.
Around Coppice now for the 23rd time. And it's anybody's race. 150 miles an hour over that slight bump in the road, then they braking. You see the front of the machine dipping as they apply the brakes, change down through the gearbox, get the line exact as they wanted. And Lucanelli and Mamola they have 2 laps to go. The last 2 laps, that's just under 4 miles of racing. And Lucanelli leads from Mamola. Barry Sheen 4th, right behind Graham Crosby, as they hurtle down now through the swervery of Donington, Hollywood, Rainer curves, down to the old hairpin. Lucanelli and Mamola, Crosby and Sheen. Suzuki's 1, 2, and 3 with the Yamaha of Barry Sheen in 4th place. 5th is Suzuki Franco Uncini, and Mamola's having a go on the inside, and he takes him. And Lucanelli's not going to give up. I don't think he's really trying. Barry Sheen is closing, so is Graham Crosby, but Mamola has taken the lead, and they've just got a lap and a bit to go. Crosby is trying to take him on the inside, and does it. Well, and Barry Sheen is having a go now, but Lucanelli's going to fight back. So the order changed dramatically there. It's Randy Mamola leading. Lucanelli trying to take the inside line from Crosby, but Crosby, yes, is relegated to 3rd. They're going to start their last lap. 1.957 miles. Mamola from Lucanelli, from Crosby, from Sheen. Under a lap to go now. This is the final circuit, the 25th lap. It's Mamola and Lucanelli in that order. And Lucanelli's off. He's thrown it. Lucanelli. Oh, what a tremendous shame. Marco Lucanelli, the new world champion on the very last lap, drops it at Redgate. And that leaves the way clear now for number 4 to take 2nd place behind Mamola. That was tremendously hard luck, but he was trying all he knew, and it just didn't work out for the new world champion.
You could see Peter, he was just desperate to close that gap between himself and Mamola. Just a bit too much throttling it high side in the worst way, and he looked to be really hurt, and he hit the ground so hard.
What a shame, because this has been such a superb race. It still is, of course, but Lucanelli, I know, will be bitterly disappointed. But we're catching up with some of the slow markers now, and let's take nothing away from young Randy Mamola. Number 3 is the leader. Crosby is closing. Barry Sheen 3rd, and that looks like the order they're going to finish. The checkered flag is ready. Randy Mamola from Graham Crosby and Barry Sheen are the first. The lights are green, the race is on, and it's Randy Mamola from the inside pole position, sweeps to the outside to take the early lead as they go around Redgate Corner for the first time. A very tight-knit group. That's the difficult corner all safely round, and on the first time the sweep down through Craner Curves and Hollywood, 25 laps, and the finest riders in the world competing here. It's Randy Mamola, number 3, from Kenny Roberts, number 1, and number 7, Barry Sheene. Mamola, runner-up in the World Championship for the past 2 years, being chased by the men who have held the championship since 1976 between them till this year. Randy Mamola, the 21-year-old from Santa Clara, California. Kenny Roberts, number 1 behind him, then it's number 7, Sheene, and then it's number 4, Crosby. They're the first 4 in the makings of another tremendous race here at Donington, and what a way to celebrate 50 years of racing with this sort of racing. Onto the fastest part of the circuit, up through the gearbox, reaching somewhere in the region of 150 miles an hour. And Graham Crosby, a better start that time, and he's up with the leaders. Kenny Roberts, much better this time. He was finishing 5th in the first race, but he's really got young Randy Mamola in his sights. Lap 1 completed, and Graham Crosby appears to be dropped just a little now. Randy Mamola on the Works Suzuki leading the 2 Works Yamahas of Kenny Roberts and Barry Sheene. Graham Crosby still holding on to the 4th spot, and Phil Reed, the makings of another tremendous leg.
Well, nice to see Kenny up here, obviously determined to redeem his poor position in the first leg, which we understand he ran onto the grass and lost a lot of ground. You can see he's really determined to reverse and get in front of Mamola.
Down to McLean's, they're on lap number 3. Mamola, Roberts, and Sheene. Graham Crosby still holding on to the 4th place, riding machine number 4, but this is the battle, and Kenny Roberts seems to just be sussing out where possibly he can take the young pretender to his crown. He calls them. They're very great friends, despite being on rival factory machines. And in fact, it was Kenny Roberts who gave young Randy a lot of help when he first started racing. Randy first came to England a couple of years ago and started off in the 250cc class. Very quickly got his hands on a 500, and Randy Mamola, Kenny Roberts has lost it. Kenny Roberts, the world champion down. My word, Kenny Roberts chasing Randy Mamola, and Kenny Roberts dropped it. But he's on his feet, as you can see. Kenny Roberts okay, the rest of the field streaming through. But Kenny Roberts really came a pearler there. Randy Mamola, Barry Sheene into Copper's Corner, cranking it over, around there in 3rd gear, around about 70 miles an hour. And Sheene having a go on the inside, is he? No, Mamola still holds it, looks over the shoulder, and indeed, a rider off there. The machine is on fire. The machine is on fire, and the rider there, the flags will be shown, slowing the riders down. There's the machine blazing away. That's going to be a very second-hand machine. We can't identify the rider, I'm afraid, for you, but the machine on fire, the extinguishers out very quickly indeed. That's the signal that the race is to be stopped. So in the 350 World Championship, the lights are green, the rerun is on. It's 15 laps, and it's Randy Mamola yet again has made a good start. So is Barry Sheene on the inside, but it's Mamola leading as they go into Redgate for the first time. Number 5, Cork Wellington. And Graham Crosby, number 4, was last away, but he's carving his way through the field. Down through Hollywood and Craner Curves. And it's Randy Mamola, number 3, this young Californian out in front, yet again. This appears now under Starkey's grid. Barry Sheene is up there in 2nd place, and the green outfit of Corky Ballington tells us he is in 3rd place. But Randy Mamola back in the position he held around McLean's for the first time in this rerun. Ballington, then it's number 10. Number 10 is Bernard Farr. Number 16 was Keith Ewan. Number 13, that was Chris Guy. But look at the way Randy is hanging off this machine, even more than usual. Barry Sheene is still up there in 2nd place. And Cork Ballington with the 500cc Kawasaki. He was a double world champion in 250 and 350 racing. A couple of years ago, he won the championship 2 years running in both classes. Now on the 500, and this year gave Kawasaki their best placings on the 500 with 2 third places in the Grand Prix. So lap 1 completed with Mamola leading Sheene and Ballington into Redgate. The Works Suzuki against the Works Yamaha. Graham Crosby, number 4, after that bad start, has fought up to 10th place, but he's got an awful lot to do. He did a lot in the first leg, but I wonder, Phil, can he do it again? 10th position now after being last away, Graham Crosby. Can he fight his way through and catch the leaders, who are Momola and Sheen?
Well, I don't know. I think he's pretty demoralised by now after seeing 2 ace riders fall off in front of him. Obviously, he'll be trying his best to catch up, but the way the leaders are going at the moment, it'll be very doubtful.
Momola and Sheen, perfect harmony, perfect unison. A little wheelie there from Momola as they come up to Coppice now, changing down through the box to third gear, 70 miles an hour. Barry possibly in a little wiggle there from Momola, and Sheen tries to overtake him. They're almost side by side as they come down under Starkey's Bridge, under the Dunlop Bridge, I should say, on Starkey Straight, 150 miles an hour. The braking is going to be vital, and it's Momola who still holds on to the lead. Momola and Sheen complete 2 laps. Cork Ballington there, the green outfit, machine number 5, still in 3rd place. Barry Sheen really taking a very wide line. Cork Ballington from South Africa on the Works 500cc Kawasaki, holding on to 3rd place and holding on pretty well from the flying twosome in front of him, Momola and Sheen. Graham Crosby has moved up into 8th place. That's 2 places up since the previous lap. That is Cork Ballington. Machine number 5, the Green Meanie is the nickname of the Kawasaki. Not hard to understand why everything is green, including the leathers. Momola from Santa Clara, California, runner-up in the World Championship again this year. Barry Sheen really putting the pressure on. You see, Randy looked over his left shoulder, but Barry Sheen was at his right. Coppice, Ballington has come up to join in the merriment. On the fastest part of the circuit, the first 3, Momola, Sheen and Ballington. Braking, changing down through the gearbox, 50 miles an hour, through the chicane. Momola, Sheen and Ballington as close as that. Accelerating. And you can see Barry Sheen absolutely tucked down behind that fairing. Again, going for that wider line. You'd think they were going into a different corner, wouldn't you?
You see, Peter, that Barry's now followed Lucanelli and found a faster line out. He nearly passes the leader up on the inside.
And the leader, Randy Momola, is lapping in 1 minute 15.18, a little slower than before, just about a second down, or maybe a second and a half on the laps he was putting up before the race was stopped.
Peter, I think you can now see Barry weighing Momola up and how he can get past him on the last couple of laps, you see, especially into the last section of the circuit here.
Coppice Corner on lap number 7. Number 16, Keith Ewan, we understand, has had a spill. Keith Ewan, the former British champion, is out of this particular race. Momola, Sheen and Ballington as close as that. In fact, he's pulled up number 16, not a spill. Number 16, Keith Ewan, okay, but out of the race. And there's the first, second and third, with Cork Ballington on that experimental Kawasaki doing extremely well to hold on to the Works. Suzuki and Yamaha's ahead of him. And Barry Sheen is through. Barry Sheen has done it. Nipped inside at Redgate, and Barry Sheen leads Randy Momola as we are now on lap number 8. And they're just about half distance now with 7.5 laps completed. Victories from taking the World of Sport Superbike Challenge this year. The final round held on Saturday. Barry won all 3 of them. And Momola there using every bit of the road, trying to... and the difference now, I've been told, Barry Sheen, Graham Crosby is 0.90 seconds only, 0.9 of a second only. And Crosby moving up now on Ballington. Number 5 is Cork Ballington. Number 4, Crosby almost lost it there. The severe braking, the rear end is wiggled. He controlled it, and he's now got Cork Ballington in front of him. Is it Redgate? He's going to make his move. They're both taking the wide line. Crosby dives inside. Has he done it? The faster line he has. And Ballington goes through and Reed takes it. Oh, superb stuff indeed. Barry Sheene, he's around Coppice now for the 15th and final time. And what a reception he's getting from a 40,000 crowd here at Donington Park. Down the final straight. Just the chicane now, a second gear corner. Waving as he goes through the chicane. The crowd roar and wave to him. Barry Sheene pops a wheelie across the line. And who is going to take second place? Well, I think Momola just got it from Crosby, but my word, that was close. So that means that Barry Sheene finishes up with a first and a third over the two legs. Randy Momola only just took the second place from Crosby. If he took the second place from Crosby, he finishes up with a first and a second place